If you like what you're watching, smash that like button and give us 1,000 likes or more. Here's more wrestling news for March 20th, 2021. And your headlines for today include: a long-anticipated WrestleMania match is almost certain this year. Sami Zayn irate after learning WWE called his match the least anticipated in SmackDown history. United States title match announced for WWE Fastlane. WWE star out of action after undergoing surgery. Real reason for Triple H's absence is revealed. Who ran NXT and Raw on the game's behalf. Details for Andrade's trademarked new ring name and look after leaving WWE. WWE interested in Ben Askren. Details of the former UFC star's Performance Center visit revealed. The cracks between Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax on SmackDown. There was big heat now. Vince McMahon's rule change caused WWE match to finish early, and more. For months, Sami Zayn has spoke of a conspiracy against him on the Blue brand, and as it turns out, he kinda has a point. That was certainly the case when he faced King Corbin on last night's show, which one video package hyped as the least anticipated match in SmackDown's 22-year history, with the line, "Unfortunately, there must be a winner, but thankfully there will be a loser." That loser was nearly King Corbin, as Zayn was on the verge of winning until the referee held him back without reason, stopping him from finishing the King off. This action allowed Corbin to recover enough to hit the end of days for the win, and whilst Kevin Owens called it fair officiating, we all saw the truth. After months of being branded a conspiracy nut, it seems Zayn has been honest all along, and a feud was teased between the two with a post-match Helluva Kick. Will we finally get the long-anticipated WrestleMania match between the two this year? And do you want to see Zayn and Owens collide next month? Let us know in the comments. After the match, Zayn wasn't happy with the result, but was especially angry about WWE referring to the match as the least anticipated match in the history of SmackDown. In a backstage promo, Zayn had some scathing words for the company, saying, "I've been disrespected, I've been jerked around by this company in recent months more than anybody, maybe ever. But today, they crossed a new line. They crossed a line that I don't know if there's any coming back from it. Did you see the video package they played before the match? I'm not even going to get into the match. I'm not even going to get into what Kevin said after the match. I'm not going to get into the fact that I kicked him and I didn't even want to kick him. I'm not going to get into all of that. Did you see the video package they played before we went out? They put a graphic of me and Baron Corbin and they said, 'You're about to watch the least desirable match in SmackDown history.' This is what they said. Least anticipated match of all time. This is what they said about me, a generational talent, one of the best to ever do this shit. That's what they said about me. The balls! I will take this company down to hell." Zayn even confronted Corbin about what was said, pointing out that the WWE loves their former Raw general manager, but the second that he's linked to Zayn, the higher-ups turn on him. Corbin actually agreed with Sami's point before storming off angrily, as the self-professed real Intercontinental Champion is starting to win people over with his claims of a conspiracy theory. We are sure that Zayn will use the fact that he's not booked for this Sunday's Fastlane as proof of this conspiracy, but a US title match has been confirmed. Tomorrow night, US Champion Riddle will defend against Mustafa Ali, and we'll have to see if the Retribution leader can win his first title in WWE at Fastlane. This week, WWE moved their network to Peacock, and fans can enjoy WWE pay-per-views without any commercial breaks. That's according to a PR rep from Peacock, who added that WWE programming that airs on demand will still feature advertising inserted. These are early days for WWE's move to Peacock, as not all content is on there yet, and time will tell just how many commercials fans will have to sit through to get to their favorite episodes of Monday Night Raw. This year's WrestleMania won't feature any commercials, but it will feature Hulk Hogan, who will have a major role in the show. Yesterday, the company announced that Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil will both serve as hosts for the two-night event, as both men are proud representatives of WrestleMania 37's home of Tampa, Florida. This won't be Hogan's only involvement during WrestleMania week, as he'll also receive his second Hall of Fame induction, this time for his work in the New World Order as part of the 2020 class of inductees. Tickets for WrestleMania 37 officially went on sale yesterday, and what do you make of Hogan and Titus hosting? Let us know below. WrestleMania week will also feature a two-night takeover show called Stand and Deliver, but that's the show Curt Stallion will have to miss. On Facebook, Stallion revealed that for the first time in his career, he's having to miss bookings as he's fractured virtually every bone in his left wrist whilst training this week. Stallion added that he'll be undergoing his first ever surgery next Wednesday, where plates and screws will be put in, and we at Slat Rock would like to wish the NXT and 205 Live star a speedy recovery. With Stallion gone, NXT's roster has gotten even smaller, and this week's show had to go ahead without their leader, Triple H. Dave Meltzer reported earlier this week that Triple H was feeling sick, and now it turns out that the 14-time WWE World Champion was a part of quarantine after many people on the NXT roster tested positive. The Game was forced to quarantine last weekend, which explained why he missed Raw and NXT, but the Black and Gold brand were in good hands without him around. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that without Triple H, Brian James, aka Road Dogg, and Shawn Michaels were running things, a tall order given much of the roster couldn't be used. It's unclear if Triple H was still giving his input like Vince McMahon has done for main roster shows he hasn't been able to attend, but it's good to see that the show can go on, even if the Cerebral Assassin can't make it. Back to the main roster, and it's well known Andrade wants to leave WWE, but if he does, that means he won't be able to go by Andrade, as WWE owns that name. Even if WWE aren't letting him go yet, Andrade isn't wasting time and has already trademarked La Sombra, the name he used in Mexico before WWE, for him to use again, this time in the US. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer said it's likely Andrade will return to the masked look from his pre-WWE days, and whilst it's uncommon for a luchador to re-don a mask once it's been removed, it can still be done. That happened with Rey Mysterio when he lost his mask in WCW and showed up in WWE in 2002 wearing a mask. There's a lot of questions about Andrade's situation, with some believing that his desire to leave may have led to WWE pulling his fiancée Charlotte Flair from the WrestleMania poster. It's also possible that Andrade could reunite with Thea Trinidad, aka Zelina Vega, once his non-compete clause with WWE expires, but for that to happen, Andrade will need to leave WWE first, something the company isn't ready to see happen just yet. With stars like Ronda Rousey, Cain Velasquez, and Shayna Baszler all jumping to WWE, it's clear WWE is open to MMA stars signing with them, and Ben Askren might be making the jump soon. Ahead of his highly publicized boxing match with Jake Paul, the retired MMA fighter spoke to Chris Van Vliet and discussed a possible WWE run, saying, "I would be interested in doing a little something with them. I really like them, everyone there was really cool, and they run a really professional operation." Askren added that he visited the WWE Performance Center last October, and would you like to see him in WWE? Sound off in the comments. Back to the ring, and on last night's SmackDown, Nia Jax unsuccessfully challenged for the SmackDown Women's title. In the show's opener, things were going well until Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler got involved, which resulted in the Queen of Spades inadvertently kicking her partner, allowing Sasha Banks to get an easy pinfall victory. Backstage post-match, Jax was furious at Baszler for costing her the chance of becoming a double champion, whilst Baszler promised to give Belair the nastiest beating of her life. The cracks have finally begun to show for the women's tag team champions, which is interesting considering how close they are to defending the titles this Sunday at Fastlane against Banks and Belair. The Baszler-Belair match was interrupted by the team of Tamina and Natalya, who it seems will be getting their title shot at WrestleMania. But who walks into WrestleMania as champions is anyone's guess. If we've learned anything recently, it's that Vince McMahon loves making rules, and those rules don't just apply to the superstars. This week, former WWE ref Nick Patrick spoke to Dr. Chris Featherstone and recalled a time when the boss was furious at Teddy Long, who was a referee at the time, demanding that Long call matches like a shoot. McMahon goes, "Teddy Long, if they do that, count them out." A week later, Teddy's out there working with Christian, and Christian went to cut it close, and they counted him out. There was big heat. Patrick added that from then on, Christian would joke that he hopes other refs wouldn't count him out like Long did, and we expect Captain Charisma was more careful from then on not to spend too much time out of the ring. And we're ending today with more SmackDown news, as the go-home episode before WrestleMania won't be live. Fightful Select is reporting that the April 9th edition of SmackDown will actually be filmed a week in advance, which will free up some time for WrestleMania week. The downside is that this does increase the chance of spoilers for the final SmackDown before WrestleMania, and with the April 9th episode actually taping before the April 2nd episode, it'll be a unique, out-of-order experience for fans who virtually attend the Thunderdome. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.